Hey there, welcome back to the Content King podcast. And today we're going to cover something pretty rudimentary, right? Pretty elementary when it comes to content, and that's content, right? We've talked so much about content, so much about the creation process, but I want to talk to you today about content at its roots, and really identifying content at its root really changed the way I make content forever. So the word content, when you really think about it, it's kind of new. Like this idea of creating content, it wasn't always used for that word. Like, where do we get this word content? And why is it so important that we understand where it comes from? Basically, the word content, when defined, the original word is like the contents of a container, right? So the container's contents. So if you were to open up a treasure chest, the content of the treasure chest would be the treasure, right? And so it's something contained or its substance, right? So when we think about it in terms of media and social media, the substance of, somebody's Instagram account is their content, is their videos. But when I defined it down one step further, substance, all content is really somebody's essence or the true nature of someone. And so when you think about content as being the true nature of someone, we try to think of, how do I get my true nature or my essence from me and onto a video screen? That's like the main idea, right? When we watch these videos on social media, or when we're seeing these people in movies or in TikToks or whatever, we are limited in the amount of that person that we are allowed to experience based on the medium in which we're watching it. So I'd argue that somebody with a blurry camera on TikTok for 90 seconds, we're not going to get nearly as much from them as we're going to get from like a documentary. Does that make sense? And so I have learned over the years that there are certain ways to get your essence on camera most effectively. And I want to share those with you. So the way that I do that is I use this framework called Classy. And so I throughout the years, I've said it's time to make our content classy. In order to get seen and get heard, to be heard and everything, we have to be classy. And it's not the actual definition of classy, but what it actually is CLASSY. So in order to get our essence onto camera, we have to focus on these 6 things: camera, lights, audio, scene, script, and you. Classy. CLASSY. Camera, lights, audio, scene, script, you. And what that allows us to do is, when we have good camera quality, that removes the distraction of bad camera quality, right? So we want to make our camera as clear as we can so that there's nothing distracting them from seeing us. Lights, very similar thing. We want to make sure that the lighting does a good job of allowing our essence to come through on camera. Like right now, I'm kind of talking to you on Zoom audio because I'm here. I did day 1 of my challenge, and I decided to do it at my parents' house because they have excellent internet, and I have to upload the replay. It takes like 3 hours to do it from my home because I live in a dead zone, but I did it here. So I'm working with what I have, and I'm coming to you on the video here, but you can tell like it's hard to get my entire self through the video if you're watching this on video because it's kind of blurry. It's like not the way I would normally want to do it. Audio, I try really hard to have great audio so that there are no audio distractions, verbal distractions, keeping people from listening to me, which is why I invest really heavily into high quality audio. The scene is something that I'm very intentional about. Today, the scene is not very intentional. The scene is I'm at my parents' house, and I didn't put any thought into who I'm relating to, any thought into how high quality it looks, any thought into how professional or credible I look. But when I come intentionally to reveal my essence on camera, the scene is a big part of what I'm doing. I want to be either relatable. And this can be as simple as like, if you host a sports podcast, make sure you have like a football on the table or a jersey hanging on the wall, or like, it can be that simple. It can also be, I want to appear high class. I want to appear like I know what I'm talking about. So you have really expensive things, or you have gold or glass or things like that in the shot. And then the script is really to ensure that your audience is hearing what you intend to say. So if I have very specific words I want to say, but I have a very limited time to do it, I am going to script that video. Now, when we break it all down, the last part of that is you. You need to be ready to come on camera. You need to be of high quality. You need to be worthy of listening to you. But do you understand that if none of those other things are put into place, then people won't even give you the chance. It's like, I like to think of it as like the cure for cancer in an unmarked syringe or like in a brown paper bag. Nobody is ever going to pick up that brown paper bag. Nobody's ever going to read it. There's no label on it. Nobody's going to look at the syringe and know what it is. They're not going to give it the time of day. That's like a really graphic example, I realize, but it doesn't matter how good you are at what you do, how credible you are, how good presentation skills you have. Like if you don't come with the highest possible quality of camera, lights, audio, scene, and script that you can, then people aren't going to be able to hear the message you have. Because remember, people don't come for you. And that's hard to stomach for a lot of us. They do not come for you. They stay for you. We need to focus on the things that people come for so that they stay for us. Now, this is a really, really simple message today, but I really want to drive home the point of when you want your essence to come through on camera successfully, try to keep it classy. Camera, lights, audio, scene, script, and you. Now, that's going to mean something different for everybody, but take a look at that acronym: camera, lights, audio, scene, script, you. See how you can elevate them in your content strategy and see what that does for allowing people to engage with you and see all of you, the true nature of who you are. Thank you so much for listening today. This was Content King. My name is Tony. And if you'd like to support this, that was a good one. If you'd like to support this podcast for free, please consider leaving a review in your podcasting app, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.